How's it going, guys? Welcome back to fetch. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday. Back on Monday. Oh my gosh, I cannot even express how much frustration I've had with YouTube. There's been upload issues where my videos just get stuck in limbo and have to be deleted and re-uploaded. It happened like 3 times in the past week, and like the Science Gate video was so bad last week. It was supposed to come out on Wednesday. I uploaded it on Wednesday. I wasn't able to actually get it to appear on the channel properly till Friday. So yeah, it's been a rough one. And so if this video's had issues, it's probably just that. I don't know what's going on over there on their servers, but I'm hoping it's been resolved now. I was able to contact their support and they actually responded to me a bit. I'm guessing it was a scripted response, of course, but hey, I got something, right? Anyway, so we are here again, and apparently I normally can be decent at like feeling out a story and when like I can like stop or start. However, someone's implied in the comments of the last episode that I might have miscalculated, that this story might be over really soon, which means we'll just roll right into the next one. But yeah, that's really what's going on here. So we've been following Marimo-chan's training and going through like becoming a surface pilot and talking about how like she wanted to be a teacher, but when she saw the world was falling apart because of the beta, she wanted to fight. She struggled through basic, especially with the one dude who just was being a misogynistic and all that great stuff. But they effectively made each other better. And then when she graduated, everyone got assigned as a squad to go on into the front lines except for her. She was reassigned to become an instructor, and she was just like, oh, of course that's what happens to me. But she's like, I'm not taking that, so she voluntarily assigned herself to the front lines. So that's where we are now. And I'm sure it's just going to be lovely. Welcome to the beta. I'm sure we're about to be reintroduced to the whoring nightmare. So buckle up. This is going to be a fun one. And yeah, then we'll see where we go from there. But I say it's about time we get started. So, man, she's one weird chick.
後方配属を蹴ってまで最前線に来たがるなんて頭おかしいぜ。だからな、志願兵様ってのはさ、俺らには到底理解できない崇高な使命感を。
Man, can you imagine being in a situation where like literally everyone is drafted? Like, especially this time it's not quite male-female like unilateral, it's just male. But like you grow up as a boy, as a male, you're like, I have to serve in the military, and that's probably what I'm going to do my entire life.
緊張からか、いつもより無駄口が多い。約10キロ東のコマンドポストにいる大隊長もこの会話が聞こえているはずだが、なぜかそれを咎めない。新米には構っていられないということなのか。
Maybe.
現在帝国軍の本隊は大連に向け進行中のベータ主力を叩くべく、中韓連合軍の96作戦に参加している。
Yeah, so this is before we lost like the entirety of the Chinese and Korean mainland.
私の中隊が所属する戦術機構師団は、ベータ主力の精神に備え、戦域より離れた地点での機上待機を命じられている。
Oh man, and what sucks too is this is old stuff too, so their equipment is just so much more even inferior than what we saw in Alternative.
その最高峰で待機している私たちは、そもそも戦力にはカウントされていないのだろう。
Not against the beta, Marimo. Like, everyone's combat ready.
ほんの20時間前に前線に到着したばかりでは、それも仕方がない。私たちの初陣はお預けというわけだ。英士の間では、最初のベータとの戦闘任務を初陣と呼ぶ。
Careful what you wish for.
だから、このような後方待機任務に何時間従事しようが、初陣を経験したことにはならない。だが、訓練学校上がりたての私たちにとっては、最前線に身を置く緊張というのは想像以上だった。
Sorry, microphone.
それでも、タイの者たちには、座学で教えられた死の8分とは無縁でいられるという安堵感があると思う。
8 minutes of death.
実戦を前にして、このところ何かといえばその話題で持ちきりだった。意外だったのは、あの洗いまでもがかなり気にしていたことだ。男は意外にそういう話に弱いらしい。だが私はその話は半信半疑だ。軍隊にはその手の話が腐るほどある。本音を言えば、あれは訓練兵に覚悟を促すために極端な数字を持ち出し脅しているのではないかとさえ思っている。
don't you hate it when flags are just pinging off left and right and you're like, oh, this is gonna go bad. It's gonna go so bad.
いかにベータが強力とはいえ、類人影子の平均生存時間が8分というのはあまりに短すぎる。平均というのもくせ者だ。戦術機が新兵器だった頃、まだ現在のような洗練された兵器システムではなかった時代。
Oh yeah, and not just that. Like you also gotta remember too. Like it might even be including like non-TSF pilots in the death tolls. I mean, especially if they were trying to use the air, like helicopters and jets. Like they're pretty much doomed if any lasers are out there, and there's always lasers.
衛士訓練をまともに受けていない空軍パイロットたちの残した数字であることを考えれば、数値が低くなるのは当然だ。
Oh, I'm terrified.
ここ数年に絞って数字を出せば、もっと時間は長くなるはずなのだ。だがいずれにしろ、平均なんて何の脅しにも慰めにもならない。生存平均が8分だろうと10時間だろうと、1分で死んでしまうことだってあり得るのだ。
Yeah, it's true.
っていうことらしいな。そうなのか？まったくいいとこなしだぜ。
Oh, they're talking good about her. She missed that part of the conversation?
貴様ら、今は作戦中だぞ。あまり調子に乗るな。
固いこと言うなよ、中隊長。みんなお前を褒めてるんだぜ。
褒めようがけなそうが、無駄口は無駄口だ。お前も小隊長らしく注意したらどうだ？
いいじゃねえか。みんななんだかんだ言っても、お前が共同体を蹴ってまで部隊に残ったことを喜んでるんだよ。
お前人の話を。
それにお前が部隊長になったことですごく安心してるみたいだぜ。
Oh wait, so she like squad leader? Dang.
安心？どうして私が部隊長だと安心なんだ？安心ってどういうことだ？
さあな。総戦技の活躍とか共同体に買われた腕とか、ま、いろいろあるんじゃねえのか？
みんなはただ何かにすがろうとしてるだけじゃないのか。私は部隊のみんなの信頼を勝ち得るようなことをしてきた覚えはない。
No. I would trust you to the hilt after all that stuff you did.
何かと引き合いに出して私を祭り上げる総戦技でのことも、
No, but
半
that's
ば
the
やけくそに
point.
なった結果の行動だった。
It was still bravery. Like the whole point of bravery is being able to act in fear, like, and to do so intelligently, to do something, especially when you risk yourself to try and save others. Like that's like you're being so unseemly modest.
私は自分の目的のために、自分自身のために懸命に努力してきたに過ぎない。部隊残留を望んだのも仲間を思ってのことではない。それとも成績が皆より良かったからなのだろうか。所詮それも新井と張り合ったおかげで普通以上の好成績を残せただけなのだ。逆に新井だって女の私に負けたくないという意地があったはずだ。平和的な共存は建前上、新井は私を男扱いし、私も男言葉で話すという約束の上に成立したもので、それは一種の妥協でありごまかしなのだ。
Yeah, they didn't really get much of an actual resolution, did they?
決して新井が女性兵士そのものを認めたわけではない。お互い理解が進んだと言っても、なぜ新井が私を、女性軍人をあれだけ目の敵にしたのかは未だにわからない。なのにどうして新井は今の状況をすんなりと受け入れられるのだろうか。なあ新井、お前は平気なのか？
あ？何がだ？
階級は同じでも、私がお前の上官になったことだ。
Ah, interesting.
なんだ今さら。
お前は本当は嫌なはずだろ。皆が喜んでいるからそれでいいなんてこと、新井に限って絶対ないはずだ。
負け惜しみに聞こえるかもしれないが、別に俺は隊長になりたくて訓練で頑張ってたわけじゃねえからな。
それは私だってそうだ。
特に基礎訓練の時は一番じゃなきゃ気が済まねえっていうガキ臭い理由でがむしゃらになっていただけだし、それに俺は指揮官の器じゃない。 総選挙の時に思い知った。俺は気楽なポジションが一番合ってるんだよ。
I kind of agree with him. I think in part personal life, I think, can I lead? Yeah, but I don't usually want to in the end. Like, I used to think I wanted to be, like, more in charge of things, but I like being in charge of my stuff, but if other people are involved, I honestly would prefer second in command. I'm not great at command. So I can agree with you there, man. I could agree with you there. I'd be quite happy being secondary squad leader.
指揮官は向いてるやつがやればいいんだ。お前みたいな志願兵がやるのは筋が。
Excuse me.
筋論の問題じゃないだろう。
お前がなぜ志願したのか知らねえけど、軍人になって戦おうってぐらいだ。それ。
違うんだ。そもそも軍人になりたかったわけじゃないんだ。本当は私だって徴兵で強制されたお前と何も変わらないんだ。
徴兵で軍人になった俺はいわば受け身なんだよ。そんな奴が無理やり見つける戦う理由なんて結局後付けなんだ。
Interesting.
それも普通だったら家族や親のためとか言うんだろうな。身寄りがない俺はせいぜい国で待ってる女のためってのは精一杯でね。
Interesting. So he finally brings up he actually has someone special.
そんな耳っちいやつに指揮されるなんて俺だったらごめんだね。もっと志の高いやつにやってもらいたいもんだ。
Wonder who she is.
現段階では妻子ある者は徴兵の対象外だ。新井の言う女とはおそらく恋人のことだろう。
So wait, like if you get married when you're young and have a kid, you could be exempt from the draft?
身寄りがない分、新井にとってその女性の存在が家族と同等以上に大きいことは十分理解できる。女が軍人になることに新井が過剰反応していた理由がもしかしてそこにあるのかもしれない。
It wasn't hard to suss out, but I am happy that I kind of saw this coming.
いや、間違いなくそうだろう。ただでさえ帝国議会で未婚女性の徴兵が検討されているんだ。
Right, and because she's not married, he could end up seeing her working alongside him in the line.
私のような志願者が増え、女が当たり前のように戦場に立つようになれば、それが現実になる可能性が高い。
There we go. See, it makes a lot of sense.
新井はそれを恐れているのではないのか。徴兵組だ、強制された受け身だなどと言っている者があんなに厳しく自己鍛錬することができるわけがない。何でも一番じゃないと気が済まないなんていう理由だけであそこまでやれるわけがない。新井は自分が頑張ることで恋人を戦地に送り出さないようにしたかったんじゃないのか。立ち入ったことだが、その女性はお前の恋人か？私は一体何を聞いている？それを知ってどうするって言うんだ。
ああ、まあ口約束だが結婚約束しててな。
Dang.
なんでそんなにあっさり話すんだ？
向こうは徴兵前に籍入れようって言ってくれたんだけど、まあ戦争だし何があるかわかんねえだろ。
Dang. Can you imagine that choice, huh? Get married to somebody who's about to go off to war? Just to kind of seal the deal? But then, like, him saying, like, no, like, who knows what's gonna happen here?
なんで私にそんなこと教えてくれるんだ？
いきなり未亡人ってのもかわいそうだし、俺の兵役が終わってからにしようってことにしてな。
そんな顔するんだな。初めて見た。
まあそれもこれも全部口約束だけどな。
そうか。でもなんでそんな話私に教えてくれるんだ？
え？
そんなこと聞かなくてもわかるのに、これこそが無駄口じゃないか。
Maybe he's worried he's not gonna make it out of this.
いや、お前は私を 嫌っているんじゃなかったのか？
いや、前に言っただろ。俺はお前を認めてるって。
That is true. In guy code, saying you're okay, it's pretty much saying like I approve and want to spend more time with you.
それに、お前は男だからな。
Aww.
今となっちゃ一番の戦友じゃねえか。
He's still kind of a punk, but good grief, just out of the blue, like, you're my number one war buddy. It's like, oh, fetch, okay.
そうか。わかった。認めたくないが、そういうことか。
Mm-hmm.
まったく最悪だ。我ながら最前線まで来て何をやっているのやら。
ん？
どうやら私は自分でも気づかないうちに新井に思いを寄せ。
How?
失恋したらしい。
How did you, how, that doesn't, okay. What? How is she falling for him? Bleh, that's all I'll say to that. Bleh.
今まで気にもしなかったのに、新井に恋人がいると分かった瞬間、とんでもない喪失感に襲われたのは。まったく、よりによってなぜ新井なんだ。
Well, I guess they do say that, like, hate and love are kind of two sides of the same coin. It's hard to, like, really hate somebody unless you feel like you could have had or should have had something more, but even so, what the heck?
神宮寺。
どうせなら、ずっと気づかないままでいたかった。私は結局、自分のことも、新井のことも、何も理解していなかったんだな。
なんだよ急に。俺の顔に何かついてるか？
その間抜け面のどこが気に入ったのかと思ってな。
うるせえ、ほっとけ。
新井らしい返事だ。
Check your face.
そしてこれが私と新井らしい会話なのだ。
Oh. Oh, here they come. Oh, here they come. The laser? How did it not have the fields up yet?
各機状況を知らせろ。
部隊5時方向からレーザー照射。
Fetch. They don't have any protection up. They don't have any heavy metals. That's really bad. They need to get behind cover.
ベータだ！ベータだ！
Oh, there they are.
なぜここにベータが？前期兵器使用自由。各小隊で参加しつつ応戦しろ。
助けてくれ！誰でもいい！大将！神宮寺！動け！突っ立ってたらやられるぞ！
新井！
増援を要請してくれ！敵の数が多すぎる！
くそ、何をやってるんだ私は。
I know, it sucks though, because you can't just be like, get a grip, get a grip. It's like, that'd be freaking terrifying.
わかった。全中隊、フォーメーションアローヘッド3で交代。
And we can easily forget that the little ones, the tiny little ones are still like 10 feet tall. Those little red ones are like 2 stories tall. Like these things are horrifically big.
応援要請だ。応援要請をしなければ。ブレード1よりコマンドポスト、高度991発生。繰り返す、高度991発生。大隊長の部隊はそれほど離れていない。すぐに応援に来てくれるはずだ。ブレード1よりコマンドポスト、高度991発生。至急増援を要請する。
Oh, that's really bad.
ブレード1よりコマンドポスト、大隊本部応答せよ。くそ、誰でもいい、応答してくれ。
That's so bad.
大司令部が全滅。
Alright, okay. I don't know what the technical protocol is, but my instinct, and even like my savvy stuff, will be if we literally have no contact, and we have no clue if we have anybody around, or even if the formation plan's even enacting, unless we were given specific instructions to like do an objective, retreat. Get out now.
今まで無駄口に何の咎めもなかったの。まさかすでに。
Oh, fetch. Darn.
隊長どうするんだ。このままじゃ全滅しちまう。くそ
落ち着け。フォーメーションを整えるんだ。
嫌だ。知りたくない。知りたくねえよ。
ダメだ。みんな強行状態だ。このままでは本当に全滅してしまう。くそ。こんな時どうすればいいんだ。
Heck if I know.
チグジ、フォーメーションは無視して動きの鈍い奴を下がらせろ。
どういうことだ。
動ける奴ら数人でベータを引きつける。その間にお前は一旦下がった連中と体勢を立て直してくれ。
その陽動は私の役目だ。お前こそ下がれ。
格好つけてる場合じゃねえだろ。殲滅するぞ。
しかし
指揮官が先頭に立ってどうするんだよ。冷静になれ。
He's got a point.
悔しいが部隊の指揮は俺よりお前の方が上なんだ。
荒井、
今度は俺が格好つける番だぜ。
総選議の時のことを言ってるのか。分かった。4分稼いでく。
隊長避けろ。4時方向にレーザー級。
Get back and out of there. No, not
レーダーの
them.
中にいる重レーザー級の姿を
Oh,
目
and
に
they're
した瞬
heavy
間、
ones.
私の体は凍りついた。
The heavy ones are the worst. They're the worst. They can kill you in 7 seconds. They burn straight through the hull. And that's with the protective layering.
目のように見える真っ黒なレーザー発信機関が私を見つめているような気がした。まずい。撃たれる。
ジングジ
生きている。助かったのか。はっきりしてきた頭で最初に認識したのは、新井の機体が私の木に覆いかぶさっているということだった。体当たりで車線外に押し出してくれたのか。すまない。また助けられたな。私は急いで機体を引き起こした。離脱するぞ。急げ。
Those things are not joking around.
新井。私は辺りを見回す。新井の機体は見当たらない。新井。そこには意味が理解できない物体しかなかった。なんだこれは。
Just like that?
自分の心臓がまるで耳元にあるかのように鼓動と拍動を感じる。
You really forget, when you haven't read the story in a while, you really can forget just what these freaking monsters are capable of. It took a second. And they can reload and fire in like another 20 seconds.
So して私は理解した。
Fetch, he's gone. It's just, there's nothing left to the pilot seat.
その意味のわからない物体が新井の激震だということを。そして新井は背部と管制ユニットごと蒸発させられたのだということを。まただ。次第に胃のあたりがムカムカしてきた。
No, you need to retreat.
何とも言えないどす黒い何かがこみ上げてきた。私はベータを描いていた。とにかくそうしたかった。生きるとか死ぬとかそういうことはどうでもよかった。とにかく新井や仲間たちを殺したベータという存在に一矢を吹いてやれればそれでよかった。それだけだ。
How on earth did she get out of that? Whoa, what? It's quick saved. Why?
ここは
How?
私はどうしたんだ。
目が覚めたか。散々な偉人だったな、少尉。
Fetch, man.
ここは
あまり動くな。貴様の怪我は決して軽くはないぞ。
怪我。両足と左上腕が包帯でガチガチに固められている。なんだこれは。
混乱しているようだな。ここは見ての通り野戦病院だ。
How?
病院。私は周囲を見回した。せわしなく動き回る衛生兵と軍医たち。簡易ベッド床を問わず大勢の負傷兵で溢れ返っている。この大型テントの中にはうめき声とすすり泣き、そして血の匂いが充満していた。
貴様は運が良いな。珍しく5体満足だ。
血濡れた包帯、手足のないもの。確かに5体満足なものはほとんど。
I'm sorry. Dang
ど
it.
こもこんなありさまだ。96作戦は完全に失敗だったな。
Fetch.
96作戦。96作戦。そうだ、ベータは作戦はどうなったんですか。
物量に押されて戦線が瓦解した。最後は戦術核で大連侵攻はなんとか食い止めたよ。
Dang.
結局核を使ったのか。
中間連合はまだ大連で頑張っているが、帝国軍の本隊はハルビンまで一時撤退したよ。
じゃあ部隊は、私の部隊はどうなったんですか。教えてください。
Marimo, you know.
暴れるな。天敵が外れるぞ。
お願いします。ブレード中隊は、私の中隊は。
詳細は分からんが、貴様の所属した大隊司令部は戦線を突破したベータの奇襲を受けて全滅したらしい。
Dang. The whole company.
大隊司令部が全滅。
貴様は撤退中の本隊が偶然見つけ、なんとかベータを退けて救出したらしい。本当に運が良かったな。
Dang.
他に生存者は、ブレード中隊の連中はどうなったのですか。
救出されたのは貴様だけだ。他は確認のしようもない。
Fetch.
何を言ってるんだ。生き残ったのは。
全員生きてはいまい。それがベータとの戦いだ。
God. Like, imagine how much death he's seen.
全員死んだ。泣き崩れそうになった私を支え、軍医は言った。
おめでとう少尉。貴様は死の8分を生き抜いたんだ。
Fetch. She's the only one.
その後、アジアの各戦線は徐々に後退し、翌年にはインド亜大陸が完全に敵の制圧下となった。それに伴いベータの闘神も本格化。中国戦線はさらなる地獄と化した。私は部下を全滅させたことを悔やみ、その苦しみを癒す食材を求め、狂ったように戦い続けた。
So she kept fighting.
だが皮肉なことに、死に場所を求める私の戦いはさらに多くの部下や戦友を失う結果となった。兵士たちの死に彩られた時を重ね、階級が一つ上がった頃、私は生き残った自分がすべきことを、その意味を考えて戦うようになっていった。
Oh no.
そして一つの軍令学だった。それはかつて私が背を向けた帝国軍共同部隊への転属命令だった。新任少尉だったあの頃、 教育者を目指した私が軍の共同官となる皮肉を嘆いた。だが今は違う。教育という最大の武器を生かすべきなのだ。無知から始まる不幸を阻止するべきなのだ。一人でも多くの英士を1秒でも生きながらえさせるために私の経験を伝えていく。そうすることでしか新井たちに報いる方法はない。死の8分を生き延びた。いや、生かされた者としての使命を果たすため、私は大陸を後にした。
Dang. So, she likely survived simply because of her role in causality. Obviously, she wasn't super saved like Shirogane. But sorry, I'm just kind of lost in thought. She likely survived because of like the same protection that protected Okabe and his friends in like Steins Gate, which is funny because that's super on my mind because I just finished Steins Gate 0 with my wife. I'm gonna talk about that a lot more in Wednesday's video, obviously, but it's got me thinking. And it's like, man, it sucks how she falls, you know? It sucks. But yeah, so she continues to fight for a while. I think the next story is a continuation of that, actually. Fetch, man. Like, it's just like the contact and fighting with the beta is just boom, it's done. I wanna make a series of videos. I've had this idea for a little bit. I don't know if I should say it though. I've got some videos I want to try making in the future, but they're a lot more intensive than stuff I've made up until now, and it's going to be interesting to see what I can do with it. But the biggest problem I think I have is I honestly would need a second microphone, and I do not know if I have the means to do that yet, but maybe someday. I guess we could pass it back and forth. It takes some editing, but I could work it, but dang. Can you imagine, like, traditionally 33% casualties is enough to break a squad. They took 99%. And then they're still having to fight because they don't have a choice. Fetch, man. I couldn't do it. I'd die so fast. By the way, this is listing the localization team. Thank you so much, localization team. And some of you guys actually chat with me occasionally on the channel stuff. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me. You guys have been so supportive of my channel and this content. I hope I can provide something good for you, and I'm really excited to see what they throw at us in the future. I wish I'd known about this stuff enough to be able to like be a sponsor. Like, I'd love to see my own name in that. So freaking cool though. We see a lot of these, but then every time I can't help it, but I gotta say, like, I'm so happy to be a part of this community. Anchor and age. Salute again. You will never get enough. Salutes. Oh, fetch me. Oh, whoa, what? Is this just playing the intro again? Yeah, it's just playing the intro that played with the alternative timeline. Alright. So, that was Atonement, the origin story. Next we're doing Rain Dancers. I think. Oh yeah, interesting. So it's not quite following her again. Rain Dancers is going to be something interesting. Being the first Muv-Luv alternative spin-off set in Europe. Follows Monica Glasgow's younger brother about to appear in Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse. as she takes part in the first combat test flights, the much anticipated EF-2000 Typhoon. Interesting. Now, here's the thing. This is definitely going to be a shorter episode. I think we're going to actually save it, because it sounds like Rain Dancers might be like one of those one and dones. If I start it now, it's just going to end up the same problem next week. So I'll do that. And then Confessions takes place between Atonement and Inheritance. Shows a Captain Asumi as she goes through Sergeant Jaguji's boot camp. Chicken divers. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is like a whole different thing, but talking about the orbital divers, who are the ones that drop from space, like, to do, like, necessary strikes. And then Inheritance, the aftermath of the battle, like, so Captain Sumi's little sister in the wake of Operation 21st. Oh man, that's gonna be terrifyingly depressing. But it's me, little sister, that'll be cute. So yeah. Alright, I know it's a little short tonight, but we're gonna jump into Rain Dancers next time. Thankfully, this wasn't 10 minutes long, like somebody was claiming it might be, but we're gonna go ahead and just pick an end here. I got a lot to think about, honestly. Like, I keep thinking about my grandpa. He played, what am I talking about? I was gonna say suffered and I switched it to played, and that's just as bad. Suffered is probably more accurate, but he served in the Korean War. And he won't really talk about his experiences there, except for one time when he talked to me about it. He didn't go through quite a Marimo-chan-esque atonement setting with that final battle, but he went through something kind of similar. I think I shared this before, but I think this is about a good time as any to do it. They were on a hill, and he got caught up in an offensive that China launched about halfway through the war. It was not, like, that war was rough, and it was downplayed a lot because it was rough, and they didn't want to depopularize it. But when the Chinese came in, they hit really hard and forced the American and South Korean forces to retreat and, like, to hold the ground. He got caught up in a push, and they were trapped on a hill. The hill gave good cover, but they were just overwhelmed. And he watched a majority, I think pretty much his entire squad was gone. They had 3 out of their squad of, I think, 12, him and 2 of his buddies, who actually got off that hill. Granted, he told me this story a long time ago. I know it's recorded somewhere, and I'll have to try and find it, but, like, he doesn't talk about it, so it's really tough to, like, really say anything about it. But, like, I know he talked about the fact that he'd been shot in the leg, and it was the leg. He was being kind of helped off by his buddies. Like, they were carrying him on their shoulders, and they were, like, getting him off the mountain, off the hill. And he talked about how, like, there were bullets that flew around them, and they just were lucky they weren't dropped. And when they got off the hill, one of his friends, which was the sergeant, called in that the hill was clear, and they napalmed the hill. The Air Force flew in and dropped firebombs on the hill and just obliterated anything that was left. So even if his buddies had, like, you know, just been separated and were somehow, like, alive there, they weren't going to be alive after that. And he said that he vividly remembers standing at the bottom of the hill with the remnants of his squad who he'd gone to basic training with and everything, and looking up on a hill just on fire. He told me this story when I was like 11 or 12, and my grandma, I remember I told my grandma later, like, I mentioned that he'd talked to me about his war stories, and she's like, oh, I didn't even talk about that, and I kind of repeated it back to her, and she's like, wow, like, he's only talked about that once. So I don't know why he just told me, but You know, it makes me really, really think about, like, he really went through something like that, you know? I mean, it wasn't Inhuman Beta. It almost makes it worse that it was humans, you know? People. But that changed him. His whole life pivoted from those conflicts that he was, like, drafted into, and, you know, knowing that it tore him up inside, and that he never was the same after that. I wonder how he ended up dealing with it. If he has. Maybe he never did. So, I don't know. Be mindful of those who have gone to combat. Many of us have family and grandparents and great-grandparents who served in war. If they're willing to talk about it, it'd be good to talk to them about it. But they might not be willing to talk about it. Because they might have had to watch their entire squad die in front of them like that. And something I don't know, and I hope I never have to understand. But it hits a special place for me because of that. And because I know that he's experienced something similar, and that he's his own version of Marimo. But anyway, that's all for tonight. Oh, see, I rambled so long and went black. So next week we'll start Rain Dancers. And we're going to go experience and kind of dance our way through the horrors of this alternative universe. But yeah, it feels like we're going to be done with this a little sooner than I expected. And then we get to roll right into Photon Melodies. So, no, this is Photonflowers, and we go to Photon Melodies next. So we're just going to roll straight into that. It's going to be great. But it is time for us to end today. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. Until next video watching me, I will see you next. I'll see you there.